My name is Jeremy Romero. I was a police officer for 13 years. I was finishing up my shift on a major road in the village of Corrales. A vehicle proceeded towards my direction on Corrales Road northbound in the early morning hours with one headlight illuminated. As soon as I turned my patrol car around, the vehicle began to aggressively accelerate and at that point drive in oncoming traffic. The vehicle crashed right in front of me, and a short time later fogged up the road with a bunch of dust, and I crashed my patrol unit. I remember the next thing waking up with my radio going off and screaming for help. Remember very vividly and clearly the left side of my face. I thought was completely tore off. I began to touch my face and blood just coming out of all over my face. I looked down at my legs and they were like inflated pretty bad. My partner drove up. He got out of the car, ran to my patrol car with a flashlight, looked in the car, and he looked in. He walked off a short distance and fell to his knees and started crying. At that point, I started hyperventilating, and then I passed out. At that time, I thought my injuries were so severe that I was going to die. I remember getting to the hospital and looking up at the emergency lights for a couple of seconds, and then not really remembering much for the next 2 weeks. Last surgery I went through, they weren't able to get a bone out of my spine that was resting about a thumb size. I told the doctors at that time that I didn't want to live no more and I was done with surgeries. That's when my family and friends pleaded with me, along with my case manager from Gen X, pleaded with me that was going to probably be in my best interest to go ahead and have the surgery. And after the conversations with those people, I went ahead and proceeded with the surgery, and helped me out get a lot of return I feel today than if I wouldn't have done the surgery. 100% of that burden, that weight, was on my case management. It was a stress-free process for me. Prior to coming home, she determined that my living situation wasn't compatible with the condition I was in. She immediately and aggressively took on the task of looking for another home for me and proper accommodations till I was able to move into the home that I'm at today. The case manager wanted to get me back to my old self as fast as possible. He approached her with a device, an exoskeleton robotic suit. At that time, it was an idea of it. I knew it was going to be a difficult task. She immediately researched that, and I believe the next doctor visit I had with my workman's comp doctor approached it and really advocated for the device for me. The exoskeleton was the first in the nation that an insurance company purchased for a person injured in the line of duty. It took him about 30 minutes to adjust all the settings and the functions on the device. I stood up in about 30 minutes and began to shed tears.
It had been, I think, about 9 to 10 months that he had stood up, so when he did, it was emotional. I forgot how tall he was.
When I stood up, that 5% chance of ever walking just disappeared. First thing my case manager told me, she told me, "Jeremy, it looks like you beat that 5% odds, didn't you?" And I began to cry again, I began to get more comfortable with the device, but not only more comfortable, I began to get more feeling back in my lower extremities. It doesn't confine me to be in a bed or be in pain all day and rely on opiate medications or have constant urinary tract infections with self-cathing that I was doing before. And that's all in part due to the aggressive work by my case manager. I mean, I I owe the case management and Gen X my life right now, because I would probably be in a deep, dark place right now, or probably not even be living.
I call her my guardian angel because she went up to me immediately when I was a mess, and she just stood by us and helped us. And if it wasn't for the case manager, I think we would not be where we are today.
We consider Gen X and the case manager at the time like family to us.